comments that these illustrious gentlemen before me have iterated. I have come to know that everything that each of them has said is incredibly true. And, you know, as I've often said, I've known you as a mentor at times. I've known you as a business partner or contemporary at times. But my greatest memories, and I think the memories that I have most of you and your service here on this board has been when, in those times when you've acted more like a father. I mean, there have been times when you have absolutely had to kick my butt, and I appreciate that. So I bring you well wishes from my family, and we look forward to seeing you enjoy your retirement, and you know we will continue to maintain and develop and grow this relationship. We're looking forward to having some more fun with you right in here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now what I do is we'll ask if there's any board member that would like to make a comment. If not, then we'll proceed on with the regular agenda. Comments from any supervisor?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Stokes.
Thank you. Mr. President, I was Supervisor Anderson councilman for a number of years, and I served with Mayor Frank Melton, Mayor Ditto, Mayor Johnson, served with Luther Rome, Louis Armstrong, Bo Brown, Durwood Boys, and many, many more. But it's been an honor, privilege, and a pleasure to serve with the historical Doug Anderson. I never forget when you try to get something passed as a member of the board, you had to find an avenue to communicate with Supervisor Anderson. A lot of times I'd go by his home, and he and his wife was so very kind and would let me in the home. And not one time did he make a commitment to me that he didn't back up. He never double crossed me. If he wasn't for it, he'd tell you, he was, don't do it. So, again, when you think about serving with Frank Melton, and you think about when King Ditto changed the landscape of this city, and you think about when Mayor Harvey Johnson made history, and then you can put Supervisor Doug Anderson in that category. God has blessed me to meet some special people. Supervisor Anderson, we love you. I enjoy being your councilman, and I enjoy working with you as a member of the Board of Supervisors. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Any other? Mr. Fisher.
Yes, I'd just like to say that throughout the years that I have worked with and around Mr. Anderson, we have disagreed on many issues, and we have agreed on a few. But I always knew where he stood. It's something that I can respect. I don't have to agree, nor do I expect everybody to agree with me. But I do like to know where they stand, and know that when they say this is where they stand today, that's where they stand next week and next month and next year. And I appreciate that integrity there to do that, and I appreciate the honesty and the courage to speak out and to do that. So, Mr. Anderson, I wish you the best as you go into retirement. I understand there's a fishing trip coming up. I hope that you'll show us proof of the big whoppers you're going to be telling us about later. But I wish you the best of luck in the future, and hope the best for you and your family.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fisher. Mrs. Calhoun.
Supervisor, I know personally that serving on this board for nearly 20 years as an elected official is an accomplishment in itself. And it's my sincere hope that your retirement from the rigors of public service will have a positive effect on your physical health.
Okay. Thank you very much. And what I'd like to do is to make one comment, and I'd like to ditto what the my other colleagues have stated as it relates to Supervisor Anderson. You always knew where he was on a particular issue. If he was for it, he would let you know it, and if he was against it, he would also let you know he was against it. I'd like to end this particular segment by telling the Doug Anderson story. And I think Mr. Fisher and Ms. Calhoun can remember this. I think both of them were in a meeting that we were having, and one of the board members leaned over and stated, this was in the middle of a hot debate, and one of the board members was attempting to tell Mr. Anderson that you couldn't do something. And I never will forget this as long as I live. The board member told Mr. Anderson, said, Doug, you're going to cut your nose off to spite your face. You can't do that. And Mr. Anderson leaned over and leaned up, stood up in the chair, and slowly said to the other board member, you know, sometimes you have to cut your nose off to spite your face. That was very profound. If you just think about that, think of what he was saying when he said, sometimes you have to know that sometimes you have to cut your nose off to spite your face. And for some particular reason, I've been trying to figure out for ever since that particular time what he meant by that. But I guess nobody really knows, other than him, what he really meant by that. But know and respect him for that, and we just want to wish him well in his retirement. And there's only one, Doug Anderson, supervisor from District 2. So in a final roll of applause, let's just give him applause. Thank you. Thank you very much for people in attendance for indulging this little time of take a minute to actually honor Mr. Douglas Anderson. We'll now proceed and go back to our printed agenda. Okay, I'm sorry. We need a motion. All those moved. It's been moved and properly second. All those in favor of?
Yes.
Opposed to? Motion passes. Thank you very much. We'll now go back to the printed agenda. For that, we'll go to Greta for approval of minutes.
Supervisor, excuse me, we have service award.
We do? Yeah. Okay.